Hello, good evening, everyone. I know quite a few have registered to attend tonight's technology tools overview for graduate students. So hopefully the remaining of them will trickle in here. We already have quite a good crowd, it looks like. So wanted to get started and kick off today's presentation. My name is Brandon Shadle. I'm the graduate enrollment coordinator at WallaWallaU University. And today we'll be talking about some of the technology tools you will utilize as a graduate student at WallaWallaU. At any time during the presentation, if you have a question, you can ask it by typing in the chat box. I did send a message there, so hopefully it's kind of blinking for you to highlight where that location is. We will get to all your questions by the end of this presentation. It should take about 20 minutes to go through the slides. There's a short video, and then any remaining questions that you may have, we'll open it up at that time and be able to answer them. If you would like to download the slides that we'll be covering, the presentation, you can download them through the link in the panel on the right side of your screen. You should see that popping up soon, sharing a file with you. So you should be able to see that come through shortly and download this if you'd like. This is also being recorded, so anyone that didn't attend can view this from the website, and we'll give that link at the end as well. But same location you went to sign up for this. You can view the recording, should be posted in about a week. But let's get started here with our slideshow. So first thing I want to talk about is my WallaWallaU. We sometimes call that my WU for short. But we covered this in preparing for fall webinar a few weeks ago. You've probably already had some interaction with this, but it's very important. So I just want to make sure we all understand that. My WallaWallaU is our student portal, and the login you use here will be used for all your technology applications as a student. This is where you can see your grades, your account balance, information about financial aid, access important applications, and a record of account transactions we'll post there usually as well. It's also where you're going to begin the important financial clearance process. If you haven't done that already, definitely be working towards that as an admitted student at least. And you'll also register for classes, and where you will go through finalization registration or finalize your registration for the term. So right now, the most important thing for you to do in my WallaWallaU is to check your to-do list under the PeopleSoft Student Center. So you can see a list of applications there, kind of under Student App Center, kind of maybe on the right middle-ish of your screen. And look for PeopleSoft Student Center Classic and select that. And you should be able to see a to-do list on the right hand of the screen. You can click each item to learn a little bit more information, who assigned it, maybe who to ask if you have any questions on it, and how to complete that task. As soon as you are accepted, you should receive login instructions for my WallaWallaU as part of automated email. It'll ask you to set your password. And if you've never logged in before, you'll find it's pretty easy. But once you have that password set, you should be able to just use that username, which is typically firstname.lastname at wallawalla.edu. And whatever the password is that you chose, log in there perfectly fine. If you can't remember the password, it's been a few weeks, it's a new one, you've forgotten it, don't worry. You should be able to click sign in and then click on forgot password. Should be a blue link at the bottom, and that will send you an email to likely the email address or the personal email address you used in your application when you submit the application. But if you still have trouble logging in, contact help desk by phone or email, and they'll be able to assist you. I have their information up on the screens, the IT help desk on the left-hand side there. So most campus phone numbers will begin 509-527, and they'll have different endings. The help desk is 2317 ending, and you can email them at helpdesk@wallawalla.edu. But be sure to include your name, WWID number, and your phone number if you do email them, just in case they need to call you. If you're maybe one of the younger students, have a parent or maybe a older student with a spouse or someone, family member trying to help you with the process, as we all have very busy lives that we lead, multiple things we're doing. Computer support help desk will only talk to the students of the account, so you do need to be the one, or the student needs to be the one that will call them. and give the ID number and maybe other verification to get any password account information changed or updated. But all students are given a WallaWallaU.edu email address. This is accessible through Office 365 platform, or you can download the Outlook email app, desktop, mobile. It's very friendly. And it's important that you check this regularly, especially as we're getting closer to the school year beginning here in just another couple weeks. And then throughout the school year as well, because once classes begin, this is the usually the only email address university will send email to, and any important documents will go there as well. So it's important to check it as we go along. Sometimes leading up to it, we'll try to include, when possible, personal email address that we might have, but definitely once you've been admitted, start to check the WallaWallaU.edu email address from Office 365 or the Outlook app if you signed in there. So a few important things to know or to complete is one, if you've been admitted, you'll want to sign up for classes, and you should contact your advisor first, just kind of go over, finalize academic plan, future goals, make sure those are all lined up. Sometimes it's a simple touch base, and then you continue through with registering for your courses through PeopleSoft. Once the plan is finalized, you'll register primarily through PeopleSoft. You could maybe use Highpoint too, and that would be accessed through my WWU. If you were accepted into a graduate program with courses still in progress and have graduated, but you haven't yet submitted your final official transcript, please have that institution send us the transcript directly. Email's usually the best route, and then follow up with it once you know it should be delivered or sent to us. But do that as soon as possible. If you have not, you should have gotten some notification from myself or other graduate studies colleagues. Without this, your loan disbursement could be affected, and you might have difficulty with the financial clearance process. So you'll want to submit transcripts, final official transcripts if you haven't. And then the next is review the to-do list mentioned and order textbooks. If you would like an ID card, just to note that process is handled through the IT department, and they do have a way for you to submit a photo for review, and if accepted, allow us to print a card and using the supplied photo, and can be mailed to you if you'd like. Some students, it may not be automatic, but if you are coming to College Place campus, you can certainly stop by at some point. The help desk in the lower level of Rigby Hall here on main Washington campus, get that taken. If you are on Billings campus, I think sometimes they'll do it at orientation, have a opportunity to get a photo taken and sent off for us to print them and then mail them to you for that social work campus. But other students that may not be regularly visiting here, you can certainly plan to take one and get it delivered to you if you'd like. Your student ID card will be used for cafeteria, could be used for charging, bookstore, the Express, other places. It gets access to a lot of buildings on campuses. So main campus might be the gym. There'll be libraries, mainly for College Place, but other buildings will utilize this as well. And it can also be used as a valid student discount for any businesses that may offer one. All right. So what we'll be talking about right now is Microsoft Teams. It's going to be the one of the first tech tools we'll be utilizing beyond my WWU. Teams is the video conferencing tool and chat-based workspace in Office 365. So there's collaboration sometimes done with professors, maybe certain online courses or an online component within your program might utilize this for real-time kind of video chat or leading out the classroom in some type of discussion. And you might utilize it as well with your classmates for either assignments, just getting together, working on group projects, discussing things like that, and sharing files as well is pretty easy and helpful through there. But it's a good way to connect with peers and engage in different classes. But good news, the Microsoft Teams app is downloadable in your favorite Apple or Android store. You can also access it through a web browser, so you don't have to have the standalone app, but it's a little bit nicer to use at times on those devices for sure. You will sign in using your MyWWU email address and password, at teams.microsoft.com. And you can also use your your password at several other spots throughout Office 365, but you can download the desktop version. I prefer to use if you're on like a laptop or desktop. It's easy navigation, and accessing chat while your meeting or class is taking place is helpful. It's available for Mac OS or Windows 8.1 or later, and Linux systems. So let's jump into a screenshot example of how it might look as you access one. So this could be an example of maybe classes loaded in here. They will be their course number listed there, and then followed by the section if that's applicable for any of your courses. Some of you may not really utilize Teams, and some of the courses or programs might utilize it a little bit more. So this is just to get a general overview, as you'll probably encounter it at some point, but some of you will be utilizing this a little bit more than others. The courses will loaded what we refer to as teams or Teams channels, where any online synchronous sessions will take place. This is an example of the main view you should see after logging in or opening the app, and this will be more what you'd see after about that first week of classes here, when those will actually be finalized and loaded. So synchronous sessions are any live streamed classes that you'll need to access to a working webcam, microphone, and smart device to fully participate. So this is what it would look like. The lower screen, the upper screen is the calendar view, where you'd be able to click to join your meeting or team, if that's a class, if that's taking place in the Teams environment. And then you'll have webcam, microphone icons. You'll as well have a little kind of square box with an up arrow to do screen share if that's needed for any of the presentations. So I do recommend downloading this app on your smartphone, laptop, or desktop computer you'll be using, especially here as you get ready to begin classes here on September 25th. And I can share the link if you are looking to go to Teams. You can, of course, search it up online anytime after this, but I shared a link directly to the Teams website to access those. So let's get started to our next and probably one of the most important tools that you'll all be utilizing is D2L Brightspace. For all classes, whether in person or if that course happens to be online, you'll use our learning management system, D2L Brightspace. This is accessible in my WallaWallaU homepage under Applications or at class.wallawalla.edu. And Brightspace lists your classroom assignments, course progress, and content. And you will upload assignments here and access course syllabus as well. And again, you will sign into it utilizing your MyWallaWallaU username and password to access this. And we do have a short video here that's really helpful, kind of tutorial overview that was prepared by one of our instructional designers, Alex Harris. So let's go ahead and cue that video. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my mic and camera while we play the.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex Harris and I'm an instructional designer here at WallaWallaU University. I wanted to give you a short tutorial today about Brightspace, which is our learning management system and where you'll be going to access all of your class material for all of the courses that you take here at the university. So first things first, to access Brightspace, you go to class.wallawalla.edu. And when you arrive there, you get to your Brightspace dashboard. And so this is going to be custom to you, and you'll see information that is relevant to the classes that you're taking and your course schedule. So first thing I want to point out here is the Work to Do widget on the left-hand side of the screen. This will show you across all of your classes when you're on your dashboard what's coming up, assignments you have due, things you need to be working on. So the second thing is on the right-hand side, you'll see My Courses there. And so these are all the courses that I'm enrolled in this account. And one thing that I can do here is I can pin courses. So for example, if I want to pin this course, then over here in this pin tab, I can kind of curate what I want to see. So if you want to filter your courses that way, you have a little control over that. As we scroll down the page, you'll see here, if you sign in to your Microsoft 365 account with your WallaWallaU email, you will have access to your Outlook email, your calendar, and your OneDrive there. And so I can either click on these and they'll open a new tab and take me out to that tool, or I can click this little drop down arrow and it will show me the emails that I have at the top of my inbox. And then at the bottom of this page, you have the announcements section. And in that section, that would be announcements from Brightspace administrators, information maybe about service outages or updates to the platform. You're probably not going to see too many things there, but just to be aware of what that is. And then at the bottom of the page, you have contact information for tech support. So you can contact our help desk if you have any problems with university technology. So with Brightspace, Microsoft Teams, difficulties with your WallaWallaU email or login, they're there to help you. So as you scroll back up the page, one thing that I want to point out is when you first log into Brightspace, to customize a little bit, I recommend filling out your profile and updating your notification preferences. So at the top of the screen, I'm going to click on my name here and go to Profile. And under that is where you can add information about yourself that your classmates can see and your instructor can see. And what I really recommend, you can put as much or as little information here as you'd like, but what I would recommend is to add a picture. So as you are chatting with your friends online, doing discussions, working in groups, you have a little bit of picture to connect with. Is a little easier than an auto-generated profile photo there. So I would start with that, and then when you're done, you can save and close. And then the second thing is to update your notifications. So you go to the same place, click on your name, and then click on notifications. And here, this is all custom to you. You can set it up as you like, but I'm going to show you what I recommend. So as you scroll down the page, you have instant notifications. And the three things I would suggest are Dropbox assignment feedback released. So that means anytime your instructor leaves some feedback on an assignment that you have submitted, you'll be notified. And anytime here, grades item released, anytime your instructor posts a grade for you, you would be notified. And anytime that the instructor posts news in the course, you would be notified. So the caveat for all of this is you will be notified within Brightspace. This is allowing you to set up notifications to send to your email or to SMS for some options. If you would like to send to SMS for any of these options, right up here at the top under contact methods, you're going to want to register your mobile number. And then once you have that set up the way you like, you save and close. So now let's take a look at what a course site looks like. So I'm going to just jump into Intro to Grad Studies here, this fake course that I've built to kind of show us what the platform looks like. And when you land on your course site page, you're going to see a few things. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the news that your instructor has posted. So that will be when you first get into the class, you kind of know where to get started. They'll have a little welcome there for you. As the course goes on, maybe they'll post weekly updates, kind of making sure all the class is on the same page and they know what's going on. On the right-hand side, you have your work to do widget again. However, in this case, because we are within a single course site, you're going to see only information that relates to this course itself. So you'll know exactly what to do for this course to stay on track. And again, you have your Office 365 here, so you can jump into your email or your calendar or your OneDrive. And at the bottom of the page, there's the contact information for computer support if you need it. Now at the top of the page here, I want to go through what this nav bar is. So you'll see, I'll just go across the top, you have content here, and that's probably where you're going to spend most of your time. So in content, that's where your instructor is going to post things like the syllabus, weekly modules, or lecture videos. Anything that is course related is probably all going to be in content, as well as links to some of the other tools that we're going to talk about across here. So we go over one and you have the discussions tool. That's where you would have discussions in your course with your classmates. The assignments tool is where you would find information about your assignments, as well as upload your assignments to a Dropbox so the instructor can get feedback and give a grade. Then you have quizzes, pretty self-explanatory. A calendar for the course. You can see everything that's coming up that the instructor has entered dates for. Grades, we'll come back to that. It's pretty important where to find your grades. Announcements, you can see all of the announcements that have been posted for the class on this homepage here. They would all be cataloged there in case you decide to dismiss them or something like that. You have control over that. If you don't want to see an announcement anymore, you've taken action and you're done. Class list is the last one here, and that would be the list of classmates in your class so that you can see who you're taking the course with. So let's go back to grades here. This is where you're going to find out your progress in the class. You can see at the top of the screen what your grade is for the whole class, as well as you go down all of the assignments that have been put in and what your grade is for each individual assignment. Also, you'll be able to see any feedback that your instructor has given on that assignment. Another place you can see this is in the assignments tool itself. So this is where you would go to upload an assignment. You can see here on assignment 1, I have uploaded one file. I got 10 out of 10. I did pretty good. But I have not read the feedback. So that's the feedback we just saw in the grades tab, but I haven't opened it here, so it still says unread. So I'm going to click on that, and it will open my assignment. You can see the feedback here. You can see the file I submitted. I could click on that, see what I did. I submitted it 2 days late though, so oops, do better next time. And then when I'm done, I can click on done and go back here. One other thing I wanted to point out up here at the top, you'll see this notification bell. So that's where all your alerts will come. If you do or do not set up notifications to come to your email or text message, you will see them here as well. So you can see upcoming assignments, due dates, things like that. So last thing here is that if you want to go back to your Brightspace dashboard, you can click on the logo icon at the top of your screen. If you want to go back to the course homepage, you click on the name of the course and you'll go back there. So now the news is gone because I dismissed it. If I wanted to see it again, I could go up here to announcements and there it would be. So that's all that I have for you, just a quick little intro. I hope that it is helpful and you feel confident getting started. And I know you're going to do great. Welcome to the university family. We're really happy that you're here.
Thank you, Alex, for that video. That was, I think, very, very helpful. I got to get back to turning on the slides here. So next step I wanted to talk about beyond D2L Brightspace is ordering textbooks and how do you go about searching those, what you'll need. Some of you, like biology students, mostly doing research, maybe teaching in labs, other things. So not to really be utilizing traditional textbooks, but to go and take a look, see if your course does, or if your class does have any textbooks that may be required. You can go to our kind of bookstore, which is Barnes & Noble kind of college affiliate, and that's at wallawalla.edu or wallawalla.bncollege.com. And you can click on course materials from the homepage, and that example of what the webpage looked like for course materials is shown here on the screen. You'll enter your term, fall 2023, department such as social work or education, and course number and section of the class once you have those or are registered for one. And take note of the title for the book. It'll list whatever's required or optional. You'll want to take note of the title for that textbook, edition number, an ISBN number, so you can search through other websites if you'd like to determine the best option for you to source them from. Our bookstore is an easy option to use, and they can certainly mail items to your doorstep. You just need to probably take note that the used book price, since it is a Barnes & Noble College affiliate, may not always be available, and so they will typically swap in the new book for any used book that you selected. So I always recommend budgeting off the new book price. If that seems pretty good, go ahead, you can get them there. If you are visiting campus, you can certainly wait till you're here and stop by the bookstore after, some point during that first week. We'll have maybe some assignments for some classes, that you'll need to kind of prep for and get on right away that first week, but you could wait till you're on campus the first week to purchase the textbooks if you need to. And I recommend also checking libraries or audiobook apps if your professor might assign a book that they want to read and discuss over the quarter. And let me share a link to the bookstore. So that way you can click that and should be able to go right to this course material section and enter your information once you have that. So this looks like we're nearing the end here. Those are the main topics we had planned for the cover this evening or today. You can find a full list of steps to enrollment at wallawalla.edu/new steps. Give you kind of provided a summary of everything we've covered today and give instructions for completing any remaining tasks. Your applicant portal, if you're still in that process, is also a good one in addition to if you've been admitted. The mywwu.wallawalla.edu is going to be a big resource that you'll be utilizing and doing the to-do list, finishing off that for financial clearance, registration finalization, those types of things. But you're always welcome to call me, email me with any questions you may have along the way, listing some helpful information up here. If you're in doubt, don't know where it goes to, maybe don't have my number, don't want to call that right away, you can call the university toll-free line as well. So typically Monday through Thursday between 8 and 5 Pacific time, there will be someone that should be able to answer that phone. Otherwise, there's a voicemail that's checked regularly as well. But beyond that, most of the time, students, graduate students will utilize the help desk. There with that 509-527-2317. And then they'll interact with student financial services, especially trying to get through the financial clearance piece. And their number ends in 2815. So let me continue along and see if we have any additional questions. Feel free to use those in the chat, but that's the bulk of the information we wanted to cover today. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. We did have a question about Brightspace and if that application or portion could be an app that's downloaded on a phone or iPad. It is mobile friendly, but it's primarily going to be accessed through my WWU and then clicking Brightspace bar. Or once you just go to any browser, you could do that class.wallawalla.edu and that should be able to open it right up. And then I'd save it as a favorite. So if you do have Android or Apple, you do have an option to kind of save that web page as like a shortcut icon to one of your on the phone screen. So you could save it there as a quick short link, and that's what I'd recommend. But otherwise, it will be accessed through my WWU or class.wallawalla.edu from any web browser. If you do have any other questions, feel free to post them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them. All right, we have another one related to kind of technology piece. Is there certain minimum requirements for computer, either desktop, laptop? Is there a certain type required or not allowed for classes? No, we work pretty well with most everything. Again, if it's a Windows computer, Microsoft Windows utilizing, you want to have at least Windows 8.1 or higher. Most Mac devices, even from the past several years, will work fine with all of them, all the applications we talked about. And this is going back, I think, even to models, about 10 years ago. So Macs work great. A lot of students and employees utilize that. Microsoft kind of Surface Books or tablets even are kind of popular, but a lot of people are using some type of Android or Apple smart device for majority of the work. And then they'll have, it's helpful to have a nice Bluetooth keyboard or dedicated laptop for schooling. You can haul it around with you easy. You can keep your files there. Some use that to take notes. So there's not specific requirements or things that we say, nope, not allowed. If you do have questions and are really uncertain with technology piece, you could connect with our help desk. to ask them some questions. They are kind of tech gurus and work with a lot of troubleshooting, so they can kind of give you an insight. They work with a lot of the different machines too and set them up for all the different employees, and they even help students with getting applications or changing out some computer parts. So if in doubt, certainly connect with them, email or phone, and they'll be happy to assist you. But I would say as long as it's a decent one for you and one that fits within your budget, that should be a good computer. I'd like to have one that isn't very slow, so I can actually get the stuff done I want to versus waiting several minutes for things to open or close. But we're pretty open to working with anyone. So good question. Any other questions? Feel free to ask those through the chat or the Q&A, and we'll be happy to help. All right, we have a question as well about, will courses on campus be available on Teams? So far, typically they have loaded classes even with face-to-face components or being in person on campus. They have typically loaded those onto Teams. Some professors will utilize that more than others. The main one that all courses will utilize for uploading grades and assignments and those types of things is that Brightspace, but Teams is also one that many will utilize, some more than others though. So they typically, IT will load all the classes on the students, and I think that Sunday before classes begin is kind of the deadline. So definitely by that Monday, you should have all the courses loaded onto there. If you're attending in person, great, that's a great time to check. The professor will usually go through a little bit of a roll call, make sure that they have you on their list. If not, work with them and work with IT, and they'll make sure to get you added if you're not. So that's usually the first week is kind of working through making sure all the kinks are ironed out. All right, and we have another question about getting access to that Brightspace video tutorial, because I know there's a lot of information and not signed into your Brightspace yet to kind of set up all those notifications. So that will be posted onto our website, and you can access this recording again through the website. And I've been told that it should be up in about a week, maybe a week and a half. They'll try to get it up sooner, but here's a link to the webinars or workshops, either one /workshops or /webinars, get you to the same page where you can also go back and access that financial clearance piece, either you or other colleagues, friends that might be joining the program with you. You can also access residential housing if you wanted to learn a little bit more about living on campus through one of the housing options. So you can check out the webinar that was recorded for residential housing, whenever works for you. And then you can also, at the bottom of the screen will be the graduate specific ones for preparing for fall quarter. That recording that we did should be up there now. And then this one will be posted within about a week or so. We have another great question as well. If you have, on-campus in-person classes, but then you have a class or two that's online, how do you know if it will be synchronized? So classes, usually when you're looking at the class open kind of listing online, it would say either arranged or like ARR or online. And the syllabus is where you're gonna know if it's synchronized or not. So you'll have to wait a little bit to know, especially for those of you in social work, to know if it's synchronized. It will likely be synchronized if it has a meeting time next to it. So if you're on the website, the homepage, and under academics, look for classes. That's like class open, I think, .wallawalla.edu. And if your class there lists a time, likely it will be synchronized and you'll be expected to be on Teams during that time. But your syllabus will be the official verification, whether it's asynchronous or synchronized. sometimes courses will have maybe some lecture recordings and some other readings and things that you kind of work through on your own by a certain deadline. But quite a few lately have had some type of synchronized component. But check the syllabus, always check the syllabus, look through those to see kind of when important dates are, if there's tests or anything listed there, when maybe big assignments are due, and look through the syllabus as well if it gives kind of grading scale or criteria, so you know what are the big pieces and most important ones to kind of be working towards and keep your eye on. All right, it looks like we have a question about textbook information, kind of where can you, how do you get textbooks essentially? So you can view textbook information and make purchases through campus bookstore, either in person or online. You can also call them up if you do have questions. And they can ship most of those. I'll send that again here in the chat, so that way you'll have the link to the main web page to go. And it is a Barnes & Noble store affiliate as well. And let me post my information. I'm sure I've connected. A lot of these names are all familiar, so I believe I've connected with each of you, but I'll post that as well, my information, so that way you'll have my email address or a phone number as well to reach me at. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go looking for it to get you the response. And I think some of you even attending here have some emails out to me that I'm doing a little bit of more recon to send back more information to. And we do have, for those of you still with us here, I know a couple dropped off, we do have a kind of a comment or feedback to give. So hopefully you enjoyed the webinar. We answered quite a few questions, but I'll still be here for a little bit to answer any more that come through. But I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that are still with us for watching the presentation. Hope it was helpful and that you feel a little bit more prepared for starting fall quarter at WallaWallaU University. If you did miss any of those previous presentations you want to go to, you can watch the recordings online at wallawalla.edu/workshops. Also get to it from /webinars. And if you wouldn't mind going to the wallawalla.edu/grad-comment link and giving a little bit of feedback. If there's things that we can improve, additional things maybe to include. Some of you may be wondering, I don't know what I don't know, so not sure what to include yet, but you just leave a short little comment whether this was helpful or not. That would be helpful as well. And I'll try to post that link here in the chat. But if you do have any other questions, feel free to post those down there, and we'll get to them here very shortly. And there's the little bit longer link, but that link will take you right to the comment page. And you're very welcome. Thank you for everyone for attending and giving your thanks as well. I see here coming through the chat and everything. Looking forward to you joining the graduate studies kind of family and becoming a WallaWallaU University alumni. Some of you are returning as well, alumni from undergrad to graduate program, but we're thankful nonetheless and here to support you any way we can. Just reach out and let us know. And then leave a comment too at the grad-comment link about the webinar. It looks like the questions are fading. I'll hang higher for another minute, and feel free to log off if you have everything that you've already gotten. Feel free to log off, but we'll leave this open for another minute or so. Happy to answer those questions. If you miss me, you think 5 minutes later, oh, I should ask this question. Definitely send me an email, probably be the best way, or give me a call if you're able to tomorrow, and we'd be happy to chat a little bit further. So thank you everyone for attending. We'll be in touch later.